In 2025, I think without a shadow of a doubt, everyone can agree that it's filled with misinformation, AI deception. You have pretty much anything under the sun in a way that is posted online, and it's all done at such a rapid pace that it's always hard to really discern what is actually real and what actually isn't. And this topic today I want to talk about is something that it kind of shows a bigger problem that I think some people are aware of, but this situation just kind of really brought it to light, and it's kind of sad that it's being made fun of. I mean, I understand why it is, and don't get me wrong, I kind of agree to some extent, but I think that it really does just show a bigger issue on the internet as a whole. So you probably came across this post a couple days ago, and it said a French woman was scammed out of over $800,000 by someone pretending to be Brad Pitt. It said the scammer DM'd her on Instagram and convinced her with AI generated videos and edited images, which are below. We'll take a look at in a second. She divorced her husband thinking they would get together. The scammer convinced her his bank account was locked because of his divorce with Angelina Jolie and that he needed money for a kidney surgery. And then she realized it was fake when Brad Pitt was on the news with a new girlfriend. Now, realistically, let's get the elephant out of the room. Yes, is she a moron? Of course, right? It's kind of hard to have any sympathy for someone that divorces their own partner because they thought that they were now going to be with someone that is a lot richer than who they were already with. I think that's scummy. I think that's trash. And I don't think that anyone, at least in my opinion, deserves to have any form of, condolences. And I think that's part of a big reason why a lot of people have been trolling her, because up to this point now, because the story's gone out, a lot of people were trolling her and they took down their posts. Now, am I sympathetic to some extent to the situation of being, deceived and, being fooled? Sure. Yes, it happens. A lot of people are going to question, how does this happen? There are going to be people who get fooled by anything. There was this post on Twitter that happened recently as well, too. And this said, the Hollywood, California fire. And that's all it was. It was just this, and it's showing fires. And then, of course, you had to have someone add a community note saying, this video is an example of an AI video. The Hollywood sign in this video has an extra L in it. Also, reports have said that the Hollywood sign is not currently in danger. Pretty fucked up. 7.3 million views. Shows you just how fast misinformation spreads on the internet. It spreads very rapidly. And in this case, I mean, no pun intended, like a wildfire. It just really goes everywhere. And a lot of people don't really see these community notes because they don't get added until very late after the fact when most of the views have already happened on this post. Same reason why it sucks whenever artists get their shit stolen and then someone reposts it and then they get a community note added days later after the people have already seen the post, and it doesn't really serve much of a purpose anymore. Don't get me wrong, it's still good to have it, but the damage has already been done and you can't just undo it. Anyways, these were the photos that was sent to the French woman. I mean, looking at them, I don't really think that all of these are AI generated or even close. I think that these are laughable. Because here's the reason why, genuinely speaking, one of the situations that I always have when it comes to these is I feel like this is more of a common sense thing and not something that can be alluded to. Oh, well, it's just the online internet and, it's hard to, really, I guess put the puzzles together. And so anybody could have been fooled. And I get that to an extent with something that is like actually believable and something that you could put a lot of dots together and be like, you know what, that probably was true. But this is not one of those. And I say that because this is a celebrity. This is Brad Pitt. This isn't nobody. This is somebody that you can verifiably, without a shadow of a doubt, probably come to the full conclusion that, probably not really talking to you. That is like me thinking that I got some hot, rich celebrity on my DMs just talking to me, chatting me up, and they got like 3 followers and they have like one profile picture that I can Google. And then I come to the conclusion that it's the real celebrity when it's not. This situation is something I can understand why a lot of people might be upset that this woman got trolled and harassed. And I don't think anyone should ever be harassed, but I do think that being trolled was kind of a given situation when you look at the context. The fact that she divorced her own husband just because she thought she had a chance with getting with Brad Pitt. The fact that she thought that Brad Pitt, a celebrity that is worth millions of dollars, somehow needed her, of all people, to sit there and donate her money, or to donate him money for his treatment. It's kind of like common sense. These are things that you get taught in real life as well too. Don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to people you don't know. If something seems sketchy, seems too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. If I have someone reaching out my DMs and say, "Hey, Wasabi, we're going to offer you $1 million to do XYZ," am I going to be sketch? Yeah, of course I am. That's too good to be true. But what universe if someone wants some random ass YouTuber like me want to offer me $1 million for something? Highly unlikely. And that's kind of where this comes into. A lot of people are under the presumption that, hey, this is common sense. This is something that really you shouldn't be falling for, because it makes no sense. Where's your due diligence? Where are you actually fact checking anything? Like, if someone like Brad Pitt is in your DMs and they're communicating with you, ask them to video chat you. Ask them to talk to you. Have proof. Have some actual live evidence, not just someone sending you some text messages or some photoshopped images, because I think a lot of people can agree these feel more probably like Photoshop images than AI generated. Maybe this bottom right to an extent, maybe like part of this is AI generated and then they just plastered his face on top. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that these are more just Photoshopped photos and not AI generated. But let's read a little bit more into this. So it says right here, speaking about what she believed to be an online relationship with Brad Pitt lasted more than a year, and said she thought that they were in love. When she was told the actor needed financial help for a cancer treatment because his accounts had been frozen during divorce proceedings with Angelina Jolie, she transferred the money. It was only when the Hollywood star was pictured in the media this summer with his partner, Ramon, I'm not even gonna bother messing up this full name, that she realized that she had fallen for an elaborate scam. Now, of course, I think a lot of people are going to look at this and be like, elaborate scam. I mean, that's a stretch right there. I mean, it might be, I guess, elaborate to her, but this is something where you have to realize if it concerns people like this, it's just hard to really grasp around the idea that someone like Brad Pitt just randomly finds you and just says, hey, I'm in love with you. You're hot. I'm feeling a connection with you, even though I just saw your Instagram profile. I need some money. Oh, word, you're going to break up with your husband and transfer me money? Let's go. It sounds absurd and silly saying it like that. And so, again, I understand why people are genuinely like trolling her. Now, I mean, I guess you can find it cruel or rude, but at the same time, you can't baby every single person for every single misstep that they make in life. This is not someone that is like 14 years old or 15 years old that just happened to make a little oopsie and they don't have any idea of the world around them. Because again, this doesn't just apply to online knowledge. This is just common sense where you just do a little bit of thinking for yourself and just say, hey, or like if you got a letter in the mail from someone that claims to be Brad Pitt or another celebrity, what are the chances that you're really going to believe it, right? You would probably ask for more evidence, say, hey, what are the chances, or like, can you prove to me that you're actually who you claim you are? And how do I know that you're not someone trying to scam me? That's like the logical steps you would go for something like this. She continues by saying, I asked myself why they chose me to do such harm like this. I've never harmed anyone. These people deserve hell. And I mean, of course, the reason why they chose her is because she is rich. She has a lot of money. And it clearly worked. They chose her because they thought that she was a great target to try and get money out of. And I mean, unfortunately, in this case, it proved that they were right. It continues by saying the scam dated back to February 2023 when Anne, who had been married to a wealthy entrepreneur, joined Instagram in order to share pictures of the skiing holiday in the French Alps. On her return, she was contacted on the social network by someone posing as Jane Pitt, the actor's mother, who began chatting to her and said she would be a good match for her son. Then another account got in touch claiming to be the actor himself. His mother had told him all about her. The person said, I would like to know more about you. Read one message to Anne, but I would like to know whether you work in the media as I'm protective of my private life. Anne, who said that she did not have much understanding about social media, spent a year and a half communicating with this person that she thought was Pitt. That person used fake social media and WhatsApp accounts, as well as artificial intelligence image creating technology to send her what appeared to be selfies and other messages, including poems and songs, and apparently a copy of Pitt's passport. She said he was really interested in her work and they communicated every day. I was in love with the man I was chatting to, she said. He knew how to speak to a woman. All right, wow. Okay. Among the things Anne discussed with the person claiming to be Pitt was her large divorce settlement payment. She did receive AI generated pictures of the actor apparently in the hospital with requests to pay for his kidney treatment. She transferred hundreds of thousands of euros for the supposed medical costs. And then pretty much this is going over the fact that they had to take down the interview because a lot of people were trolling her and they didn't condone harassment towards her and no one wanted harassment. And again, harassment isn't right. It's not good. I mean, trolling, it's kind of a given, but I don't think it's ever right to try and find a person specifically and then try and harass them on their social media accounts just because of a mistake that they made, which is, I mean, it's a large mistake and now they're facing the consequences. But I think it's also important for people to come out with stories like this so that it brings more awareness to it so that discussions like this can be had, because I think a lot of people are unaware that this isn't something that's new, isn't something that just happened yesterday and this is the first person to fall for this. There are lots of people that do it. I'm sure many have seen this channel, but if you haven't yet, I recommend checking out Kit Boga, a really great channel to get in a better understanding of these scams. I watched him for many years. I'm not here to endorse him or say anything like, oh my God, you need to go watch him. But I genuinely think his channel is great, and I've watched his streams for a very long time. And to see a lot of the scams that exist out there, there are a lot of victims who really do fall genuinely to these scams, thinking that they are in love with these actual celebrities that reach out to them, whether it's Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, or whatever other social network that you can think of. And then they get trapped into this delusion that they're actually in love with this person when it's not. No matter how many signs tell them time and time again that this is not the actual person that they think they're talking to, they still keep going with it because they want to believe. They so desperately hope that they're not being played for a fool, and they don't want to face the reality that it's not true. And so they keep going with it so that they don't have to face the truth, which is, you know, a symptom of dealing with loneliness and not having anyone around them. Because that is something that's happened in these situations when I was watching them live, is that these people don't have anyone else in their life. Either they got divorced, either that their partner passed away. They don't have anyone else in their life. They live alone. And so they become susceptible, and they have a lot of people that genuinely try to take advantage of them. Now, granted, in this case with this person specifically with Brad Pitt situation, yeah, I mean, of course, people are not really going to have much sympathy because, I mean, at that point, yo, you literally ditched your husband because you thought you were going to get to be with Brad Pitt instead, and you didn't really care, and you didn't even think twice. Yeah, a lot of people are not really going to care for that. They're going to say, boo-hoo, shame on you. But this is something that does happen, and I think it's only going to get worse, especially now with AI-generated voices. And I mean, I talked about it in a couple days ago with the last video, talking about the robots and how they want it to be human and lifelike. It's only a matter of time before maybe, let's say, people hack those. And now there's going to be a situation where people try to make it seem like celebrities are talking through those robots, and they try to, make the person that they're with think of something else, that they're actually talking to this person, or whatever the case might be. It's going to happen. Don't know when, but I do have a strong feeling that it will happen eventually, but only time will tell. Anyways, I just want to talk about this, bring awareness to it. Yes, that lady's stupid. Yes, how can you fall for it? But overall, this problem does bring to like a bigger issue that does happen, and I want to at least make awareness of that as well too. And at the time of me making this video, Brad Pitt also spoke out about this and gave his own thoughts. It says right here in a statement, his representative said, "It's awful that scammers take advantage of fans' strong connections with celebrities," the spokesperson said on January 15th. "But this is an important reminder to not respond to unsolicited online outreach, especially from actors who have no social presence." And that is true. Anyways, you made this far into the video. Consider your like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let you think. Have a great day. Yeah.